Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of VGC Prep. Today we're doing a PDL battle. This one is against D-Train. We've battled him before on the channel. I actually forgot about that. It was a really long time ago. But he does have his own channel, so that will be linked in the description below. So let me grab my handy-dandy notebook and let's go over these battles here. I just realized, I don't know if I have enough. Yeah, I have plenty of pages. Alright, so, his team in general is pretty scary. My team, I've got a Torkoal and an Electros, guys. I like to play it crazy. Actually, that is something new. I dropped, I traded Mega Charizard X to Under the Radar for Mega Heracross. And I dropped Umbreon for Pangoro, and then I dropped Pangoro for Torkoal. So that's what's been happening with my team. So Torkoal's new additions. So as you can see on the bottom, those are the 6 that I brought. So he brought Venusaur, which is definitely going to have to be Mega, Aegislash, Terrakion, Gourgeist, Mamoswine, and Thundurus. So when I was looking at his team, Mawile, again, was a really good coverage against this team. I changed it up quite a bit. I don't think I gave it Protect. I gave it Crunch instead, and I think I gave it Thunderfang. I have to check on that, but I don't remember exactly what I gave it, but I gave it something. So looking at his team, I figured, Mawile would be a pretty solid lead. I was a little weary if he started off with like Venusaur and Aegislash. I had safety goggles on my Mesprit because I didn't really have any other way to beat Venusaur, so I did that. So I was hoping, maybe he'd he's gonna go for Trick Room, I'm gonna go for the Spore or the Sleep Powder on him. It's not gonna work. So yeah, that's pretty much my thought process there. And I brought Torkoal and Electros in the back because he had a lot of things that were weak to Electros. Like pretty much his whole team I could beat pretty easily with Electros if I can get it in right. And I brought Torkoal because I wasn't too confident in my leads against Aegislash. So if he wanted to bring Aegislash or Gourgeist, because Gourgeist does get Will-O-Wisp, so I figured if anything he would be going for the Will-O-Wisp on Mawile. So let's get into this first battle. So yeah, I led with Mawile and Mesprit. I was hoping to get Trick Room up, plus a nice and powerful, hopefully just like an Iron Head or a Play Rough to something. So he actually starts off with Terrakion and Gourgeist, so I was thinking he's probably going to go for Burn on Mawile, and I could get Trick Room up, but my concern at the point was not because Terrakion has Taunt. I didn't even think it got Taunt. I just wanted to attack Terrakion because I figured I could break a Sash. I was expecting a Sash, so I would break the Sash, and it would just be good for me. So he does end up going for the Burn into Mawile, and surprisingly he goes for the Taunt. I had no idea that was coming. I just wanted to break his Sash, and I figured, if anything, Mawile, I just needed this turn to Mega Evolve, pretty much. So expecting the Burn, I switch out into my Torkoal, which is, to obviously take the Burn, and I do go for Psychic again because I saw how much it does, and obviously I'm taunted, so I'm not going to be doing very much. Now he does go for Will-O-Wisp here, which was a little unfortunate. He did predict me there, so that was a good turn for him. So I was predicting the Gourgeist to switch out here, so I went for Fire Spin on it because I figured I can trap whatever comes in and do some damage. I did put Fire Spin on this because, for lack of a better choice, and I figured, it would be pretty good. I can trap things and just overall be very nice. So this turn I go for Fire Spin on the Gourgeist, and I go for Dazzling Gleam because I wanted to get some damage off. Maybe he might switch into something that wouldn't really appreciate it. Maybe Thundurus doesn't really want to take it, so, just in case, so I don't have to over-predict, So I go for Fire Spin, and it does a really decent chunk, but unfortunately, he stayed in and went for Leech Seed. So that's not going to be very good for me, but I'm still pretty confident in what's going on. I took out the Terrakion, which really doesn't threaten my team because I do have that Mawile there. But either way, my taunt does wear off here, and in comes Mamoswine. Now, I knew that he had the Gourgeist out on the field, but I figured he's probably still going to go for Earthquake because he probably has that Aegislash in the back, and he needs to get rid of Torkoal. So I switch into the Electros here. Now, that does give Gourgeist a free boost up pretty much all of his health, which is really unfortunate. But I was completely correct, so he does go for Earthquake, which means he only gets to damage his own Pokemon this turn, which I was really, really happy about. And knowing that he's not going to be able to taunt me or take me out with either of his two Pokemon, I went for Trick Room. So I can definitely outspeed next turn and go for a knockoff Fire Punch or Drain Punch onto Mamoswine. But I figured the Mamoswine might protect because I don't know, it might be Focus Sash, I'm not really sure. But basically what I wanted to do was just take out the Gourgeist because that was going to be the biggest threat to my team right now. So I went for a Helping Hand boosted knockoff. And really, really unfortunately, it doesn't take it out. But we do find out he has Big Root, so that's really good to know. And he goes for the burn, but luckily for me, I am Lumberry, which is why I really didn't mind going for the Gourgeist. Now, I never found out what that Mamoswine was running in this battle. I was really confused, but either way. So I go for Fire Punch here. I was kind of predicting the Aegislash to go for a King Shield. Basically to stop my Electros from hurting it, but he did predict that and go for Substitute himself, which is unfortunate, but not a big deal. Not a big deal indeed. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. He does get a Substitute up, but like I said, I still have Mawile on the back, I still have Torkoal on the back, so I'm not too concerned about this Aegislash just yet. So I go for Helping Hand. I don't know why I did that. That was honestly a really bad play, because Knockoff would have broken the sub regardless. I thought Knockoff would knock off the item through sub, but it doesn't do it that way, so unfortunately, that was a really bad play. I could have just gone for Psychic onto Mamoswine and broken its potential Sash, since we know Terrakion didn't have Sash. But unfortunately, he does double into me here, which is very unfortunate. And I will lose my Electros, which isn't, like, a horrible thing, because, you know, I still have time. You know, I still have things in the back, so it's not the end of the world just yet. But Mesprit's almost pretty much dead, and we can pretty much assume that this Mamoswine has Ice Shard. And so I bring in Mawile, and I know he's going to go for King Shield. He can't really hit my Mawile since he's a physical Aegislash from what I can tell. So he has nothing for me. So I could have gone for Helping Hand here, but I kind of, at this point, assumed that the Mamoswine was Focus Sash, so I went for Psychic on it just in case it was, and it turns out it's not. So I honestly have no idea what he was running on that Mamoswine. I could not figure it out. It obviously wasn't Life Orb because Terrakion had it. I can't really think what else he would have. Maybe Expert Belt, that would be a potential. So I bring in Torkoal here, and basically at this point I won because his Aegislash has to attack, and it's faster than both of my Pokemon. So I went for Flamethrower and Crunch. Now, the crit did matter there. I would have survived that without a doubt, but it didn't matter in the game because I still won. I would have won with a 2-0 instead of a 1-0, but since differentials don't really come into play until you're like triple tied with someone else, it's not the end of the world. So that's how that happened. That battle went down pretty cool. I really enjoyed that battle. It was a lot of fun. I kind of played it pretty safe, but it worked out pretty well in my favor. So yeah. So we're going to run into the second battle. Now, I decided I like the leads, I like the Pokemon I brought. That was enough for me to warrant beating the Aegislash, especially since we realized it was physical, so Mawile can do a pretty good job at stopping it as well. So I figured the same team is perfect, so let's just run with it. I was debating going for Aromatisse because I figured he's probably going to either lead with Thundurus or Terrakion and go for Taunt again. But at the same time, you know, the damage I've been doing with Mesprit, I figured even if he does lead with something that can Taunt, I can still go for damage and that won't be a big deal. So he does lead with the Thundurus, so basically seeing that, I was just like, alright, I'm just going to go straight for that Psychic onto the Thundurus. I want to get that out of the way, because Gourgeist will be easy enough for me to get rid of. So I'm going to Mega Evolve here because I kind of have to. I led with him. and I just kind of want to. And I'm going to protect, expecting the burn. You know, I just don't want to overpredict. I don't want to get my Mawile burned. Mesprit can be burned. It's not a big deal, but I don't want Mawile burned, because Mawile can be pretty important to this match. So he does go for Taunt against my Mesprit, which I did expect, so I just went for Psychic on the Thundurus. He went for Leech Seed and unfortunately missed my Mesprit, which is rather unfortunate. He wouldn't have gotten any HP back, but he would have done at least some damage to me. So expecting the Will-O-Wisp onto the Mawile, I switch into Torkoal. I think he just expected me to stay in here, so he went for Skill Swap, which I found a pretty cool strategy for Gourgeist, because Gourgeist can pretty much put a dead stop to Mawile, except for mine, because I have Crunch on it. But this just gave me a safe opportunity to Psychic the Thundurus, and me switching in, I got the items for Thundurus and Gourgeist because he skill swapped Frisk onto me. So basically, I just went for a double attack here. I went for Psychic on the Thundurus, and I went for a Flamethrower on the Gourgeist. And he unfortunately protects, which really isn't a big deal because I'll still take him out next turn. That turn right there, that Flamethrower, really threw me off. I expected a 2-hit KO, and all of a sudden, it's out there, plain as day, a 1-hit KO, and I was very, very ecstatic about that. I was very happy that it did that. Torkoal was the real champ in these battles. So in comes Mega Venusaur. So basically what I do here is I don't know what I expected exactly. So hoping he wouldn't Sleep Powder the Torkoal. So basically I went for Psychic on the Mesprit, and I went for Flamethrower on the Thundurus, because the Flamethrower would definitely take out the Thundurus. So that's what I did. I also didn't expect Psychic to do nearly that much. I must be offensively invested. I totally forgot, because I made this team maybe 4 days ago. I don't even remember. But yeah, so he actually gets double Leech Seed off on me because, you know, even though I KO'd the Gourgeist, the Leech Seed is still up. So basically, this Venusaur is going to be a problem, and I wasn't exactly sure because Psychic won't take it out from here, and then he brings in Aegislash, and I know that this Aegislash is going to be a problem, but at the same time, I kind of figured, you know, maybe he won't attack me with the Aegislash. That's a distinct possibility, so I took the risk, and I actually just doubled into the Venusaur here. Also, in my mind, you know, I still had Electros and Mawile in the back at full health, so really my main concern was getting rid of this Venusaur, and luckily for me, I do get rid of it. So basically at this point, I just have to basically beat the Aegislash. Now, he does target my Torkoal here, and he says in terms of differentials, he should have gone for my Mesprit, but in my mind, I think that was a better play for him because my Torkoal is designed specifically to take out Aegislash. It has Assault Vest just in case he brought Special. It has Fire Spin. It has Flamethrower. It's designed for Aegislash. So had he not tried and taken out the Torkoal, he would have gone down anyway. And, you know, Mesprit has no attacks for Aegislash, so he could have very easily just gone for the Torkoal and then kind of played around me for the next couple of turns. So I do think that that was the best play for him. I do think that trying to take out that Torkoal was a big thing for him because Torkoal could very easily beat that that Aegislash. And as you saw, I did survive that. I thought I wouldn't because of the last turn, but it turns out that that was a crit. So yeah. So that was the game. I found them really enjoyable. Using Torkoal like that, it was really fun. I love Torkoal. And yes, but at the time of this video, someone dropped Tyranitar, and I really want it. So I am dropping Electros for it, but I have to wait like 24 hours, and if no one claims it, then it's mine. So by the time this video goes up, I'll either have that, or I'll be switching Electros for something else. I don't know. I like Electros, but I'd rather have Tyranitar, if that makes sense to you guys. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate these YouTube channel will be in the description below, so check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.